चालू करो. Hello everyone, welcome back in Hotel Mammon video lecture. Myself Arvind Chauhan, Assistant Professor, BBD University, Lucknow. I'm here to deliver a lecture on your food and beverage service, which is given topic.
So I'm starting with the France wine laws of France. The wine law of France. See, this is the very important and the first established in 1900s, modified in a number of times. Appellation controlled meaning law. The name of wine reveals quality, help prevent fraud, and gives authenticity. See, in the France, they have making the certain rules and regulations to established a good condition of wine to produce the good condition of wine for each and every regions, right? For example, if you are working in any organization, you must have some rules and regulations to do a particular task, right? Similarly, in the various countries, the France, Germany, Italy, they have a certain rules and regulations by which they have to go one by one point in the rules, right? So in 1935, that is INA was established. So बात आती है what is INO? INO, it is an institute national the appellation origin the origin. It is a national institute होता है जहाँ से हम वाइन एस्टेब्लिश करवाते हैं, ओरिजिन करते हैं. INAO credited order out of confusion. The ground rule for naming a wine is basically geographical area, grape wine, grape variety, yield, viticulture, vinification, aging, alcohol content, and taste. So these are the points which vary from the geographical area. Now the rules is categorized the gradation of French wine. So how they rules is come, how they grade the wine. One is the AOC. AOC, it is a appellation the origin control. Appellation the origin control. In this, they are having highest quality and most prestigious grading for French wine, but produce only 25% of all wines. क्या होता है इसमें? ये हाईएस्ट क्वालिटी वाइन प्रोड्यूस करती हैं एंड इसका कितना परसेंटेज होता है? फ्रेंच वाइन प्रोड्यूस 25% ऑफ ऑल वाइन्स. अगला है VDQS. नेक्स्ट वन इज VDQS, when they limit the quality superior. This is the full name of VDQS. VDQS created in 1949, one not down from AOC, one not down from AOC. So VDQS क्या है? एक स्टेप डाउन होता है AOC से, right? More scope in choice, grape and yield percentage. Taste is a must, 5% of all wine. So आपने यहाँ पे देखा, there is 25% of all wines AOC considered and VDQS is considered 5% of all wines. Next gradation is VD when they pay. When they pay means होता है country wines. When they pay generally means country wines. Even wider scope but specific area. बट इसका स्कोप होता है, वो स्कोप ज्यादा है लेकिन कुछ कुछ जगहों पे. ठीक है, तो हम वाइन जो कलेक्ट करेंगे कुछ कुछ जगहों को वाइन कलेक्ट कर देते हैं, कुछ रीजन्स की वाइन कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, नॉट फॉर ऑल वाइन्स, ऑल रीजन्स. नॉट मच एक्सपोर्ट, ज्यादा एक्सपोर्ट नहीं करते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज विन दे ताब. विन दे ताब मीन्स टेबल वाइन. Win the table is written in French language. In English, is called table wines, right? So bottom ranked, but with a certain starter. These are the bottom rank wines, but they have a certain standard. No geographical indication. These are the full blended wines. And another one is ordinary wines. Ordinary wines labeled by the alcohol content, sometimes cheaper than even mineral water. So these are the ordinary wines, and we will learn about the different region of the France. There's 12 important region of France. Okay. Okay. So before we start with the regions, just go back to the. Okay. So next law we are going to discuss about the wine law of Germany. So I hope you learn about the French law. French law, they have a four gradation. They start with the certain institute is INAO, and they have AOC. They have VDQS, Win Delimited Quality Superior, and they have the table wine. They have when they pay, right? So these are the four gradation of the wine. They have the certain. So now in the German wines is controlled by the series of laws since 1879, codified in 1935. 1879 में लॉ कंट्रोल किया गया है, फिर इसको बाद में कोड किया गया 1930s में. गवर्नमेंट पब्लिश न्यू लॉ ऑन जुलाई 1969. इसके बाद गवर्नमेंट ने पब्लिश किया न्यू लॉ पब्लिश किया 69 में, मेड इफेक्टिव ऑन जुलाई 1971. इसको 1971 में करेक्ट लेके लाया गया कि इसके बेसिस पे आप वाइन को प्रमोट कर सकते हैं, राइट. Control and if define very specifically all bitter wine by different picking times. Previously 50,000 claimed wine, now less than 3,000. 1971 laws fixed the minimum area as 5 hectares, 13 acres. For a vineyard, neighboring smaller ones had to come under one name. Only a few of extraordinary fame allowed to retain individual identity. 1971 laws, three basic gradation of quality. So in French wine you have learned four gradation, and in the German wines you will learn three gradation of wine, right? So first one is Duster table wine. You have learned in France is win the table. This is Duster the table wine. Most ordinary, consumed locally. Almost no export, only broad region name, Rhine, Moselle, and etc. If only table wine, most likely to be blended and a cheaper wine from abroad. Next gradation is QBA, Quality Tewin Best Metier Unbojibet. Usually refer to just a quality wine from a controlled growing district. It means QBA, quality twin means quality wine from a controlled growing district. Good quality but natural sugar content is low. Must weighted is 65%. Must is right. Uh, must is after crush the grape, you separate the liquid. Whatever outcome you will get, like with the skin maintenance, is called must. Chaptalization for 10% alcohol by volume by volume. Minimum must weight requires 75%. So in during the chaptalization process, you need 75% must weight. QBA wine carry a test number. Best had young. So the QBA wine is need a test number, right? Next gradation is QMP. Quality Tate wine myth predicate. Myth predicate. The best wine, a quality wine with a special attribute distinction. Chaptalization not allowed. So in the QMP, there is no rule for chaptalization. We do not do the chaptalization. Grapes have a prep properly, not possible in bad year. Minimum must weight is 75%. Carries test number. QMP wine, QMP wines carry degree of sweetness. Previously traditional meaning, now determined by must weight. Next is gradation of QMP wine. Cabinet minimum 75, picked originally in October, later than rest in Europe. Okay, spateless minimum day of 80 and must wait is 80 and 2 to 3 weeks later. Sweeter and rich than cabinet. So these are the differences as you can compare with the different grades. Next is beer noseless. Minimum weight of must is 120 only in very good year, right? Then chalk beer nozzle, minimum weight of 150, highest quality region like grapes with Adelphol in exceptionally good year only. Okay, in exceptionally good sunny year. Sunny year means good sunshine. Several picking from the same vineyards. Subsequently picking are better. Each picking costs more extra labor and higher eggs. Okay, so these are the gradation of the rules or law of the German wines. Okay, now you just read the wine of Italy. So you have learned wine of France, you have learned wine of Germany, now you are going to learn about the wine of Italy. One West vineyard, some of the oldest in Europe, most variety than any other country, half the size of France, but quantity is almost equal. Wine in all 20 provinces, tremendous variety at moderate price, some extremely fine. 60% red, probably second only to Bordeaux and Burgundy. More like Burgundy, robust, full bodies, deep red. So wine law of Italy. So मैं आपको बता देता हूँ वाइन लॉ ऑफ इटली is not similar to the France, not as well classified as a France or as a Germany. Names may be confusing, named after village or district or both. Some neither, some denote dry, sweet, sparkling, and some denote all. Small grower have cooperatives, Consortio, Cantina, Social. The cooperative seal on the label. They have the terms, they have some rules. One is cooperative seal on the labels. Cooperative produce half of Italy all wines. In mid 1960s, the government framed strict rules. क्या रूल्स थे जो उन्होंने 1967 में गवर्नमेंट ने फ्रेम किया? नो एज known as DOC, Denominazio di Origine Controllata. In the France, you have learned AOC, Appellation di Origine Controllata, and here the Italian wine, Denominazio di Origine Controllata. Specified and controls, geographical limit, geographical limits, grape varieties, yield, minimum alcoholic content, minimum aging, etc. Now, gradation of the wine of Italy is Denominazio di Origine Controllata Grantita, means granted. So the controlled and granted naming of the origin. ठीक है जी. Gradation of wines of Italy में क्या होता है? DOC, they have the gradation. One gradation is इसमें होता है controlled rule of guaranteed name of origin, means the wine जो आप wine produce करेंगे, जो आप wine corporation करेंगे, वो गारंटी controlled guaranteed name रहता है origin का, right? Next is denominazio di origine controllata e garantita. DOCG same is, but the only a few outstanding wines. Some examples are Albana di Domango, Barbaresco, Barolo, Brunello di Montesfilo, Chianti, Vino Nobilo, di Montepulciano. So these are the some varieties, and then and last is this is Denominazio di Origine Controllata. Is control naming of origin you have learned, and certified with the grace identity area, with classic special zone in area, superior alcoholic quantity, longer aging, and vino tipico table wine, right? Similar to the vin de table of France, established the grape variety, not up to the DOC quality standard. And the last but not the least is Vino the Tavola. Vin the third means table wine. Fourth category is term of quality, upgrade, great quality. Okay, so similarly, the Vino the table you have learned win the pay is France, and the Vino the table is wine from the Italy. Okay, I hope you getting this. Okay, moving to the next slide. Okay, the wine of the France, again we go and discuss in detail. Okay, just a moment. The soul of the wine industry, right? So classification system, Napoli, second called classification before 1855, is position universelle de Paris, promoted by Grande Chamber of Commerce. Bordeaux Wine Broker Union, only part of region of which was classified. The implication set certain Bordeaux wine apart from others, set Bordeaux as permissive wine producing areas, limit potential for up and coming vineyards, maintain control by the select few, French wine laws, classification, win the table, win the pace, win the limit, the quality superior, appellation, the origin control you have learned in the previous slides also. Now again I am going to discuss win the table, win the pay, win the limit, the quality superior, appellation, the origin controllata. So what is win the table? Win the table in is primarily the southern region produced using safe procedure, no quality standard, 12% total production, right? Win the pay generally means country wines, conversion from win the table, higher price and demand from better wine, removal of least desirable wines, regional testing panel approved, growing in region from recommended varieties, region department, John like New England, New Hampshire, second, roughly 33% of the total area, right? Next is win the limit the quality superior, VDQS, win the limit the quality superior. Wine roughly 3% of the total wine produced from slightly higher yielding wine. That AOC, a step towards AOC classification. So appellation, the origin control, this is the one of the most important gradation of the France region because we have a need the 52% of total region of all wines, right? The region, district, village, single vineyards. Grape grow within the name area, right? Grape approved for the area. Reach, reach a set alcohol label. Meet yield per acre standard. Maintain specific viticulture practices. Maintain special viticulture practices tested by taste and chemical analysis. Okay. So now the term is terroir. Terroir is considered considered as a soil of the surface, grapes, varieties, selection, history. These four elements combined to produce unique characteristic goes into the each wines. It's called terroir. Bordeaux in brief. Bordeaux is a region of the France, blending, fermenting by the lot, blended by yeast for potential wine that vintage. Cabernet strong on left bank, Merlot is strong on right bank. A typical offering when a variety failed. Cabernet France growing minimally, Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc primary whites. Second label offer great value. So these are the, like you can see the regions is Lobon, Cote, Bordeaux, Burgundy, Medoc, Saint-Emilion, Jura, Provençal. So these are the region of the France. Morges. Morges is Satu in all five Kuru classification. First growth, fourth, second growth, gravel, perfume, Premier Chetumarg is 25% Merlot is produced from this region. This is not important. Okay, Paul. Now, next is Saint Emilio gravel and limestone. This is the surface things. You have to put the gravel and limestone on the surface. Higher Merlot content. Drinkable young or cellar. Satu Sable Blanc. 60 cap trans and 40% Merlot. Cabernet and 40% Merlot. This is not important. Pomerol. Pomerol is a deep clay, creamy and seductively rich. Satu Praise average wine over 40 years. Alsace and Loire Valley. Alsace, the geography and turn historically events shaped the wine of this region. हिस्ट्री क्या है इसके बारे में 1870s end of Franco-Prussian War Alsace become German territory. 1980s end of World War First Alsace become France. ठीक है 1945 German again, always a French flair for winemaking and matching wine cuisine, increasing move toward dry wines. Alsatian wines region 70 miles long, average 1 miles wide. Wine hand on eastern slope of Vosges, 1600 to 1500 feet elevation, slow ripening, low heat summation, influenced by Rhine River. इसमें Rhine River का ज़्यादा प्रभाव रहता है. Extension of German flares, wine more vinous than German cuisine. Alsace is a single AOC, strong German influence. Typically, label carries grape variety, sparkling, Charmat Alsace, blended, Edelweiss Vicar, 10% Pinot Noir, 19% white. So, 19% white grapes grow in the Alsace region, like reaching Gauthmania, Pinot Noir, Pinot Blanc. Sorry, Alsace. Okay, Loire Valley region. This is the map of Loire Valley. Now, grape varieties: Chenin Blanc, Muscatel, Cabernet Franc, Red. 4 regions: Western, Norte, Center, Anjou, and Summer. These are the regions and they are the districts. Okay. And next is important is uh, Burgundy. See the Burgundy, they have this stick of villages, the Côte de Nid, Côte de Beaune, Côte Chalonnois, Macanois. These are the districts of Burgundy region. Burgundy in Grave, 100 miles set, Paris 225% mile long, 6 major districts, 11,100, 1,11,000 across of AOC wines, 27 plus millions cases each year, 1,500 of France AOC output, great wine, Montrez, popular wine, Vesulas, labeled of wine, small vineyard, bottling and distribution primarily by negociant Olivier, self-bottled, domain or close, example mission bottle and domain, limited quality, high prices, best wine carry, name of vineyard, labeling of wine, single vineyards, Grand Cru, best commons, Premier Cru, communal label, village names, regional label, Bourgogne, right? By the sub-region, Chablis, Chablis 4.7%, 7 Grand Cru, 17 Premier, Chablis, Paris, Chablis, northern location, Liam Stone, South facing vineyard. The Rohan must of a river in canalized. Much of the river is canalized. Agriculture and industry shared the shore. Dozens of medieval cities line on the banks. इसलिए रोहन ये एक नदी के किनारे घिरा हुआ है. In divided into northern Rohan, single varietal wine, and temperature climate, fair rainfall. Southern Rohan, blended wine, interior climate. Kottati Rohan, term used for throughout. Kottati Rohan, village reserve for defined area. Okay. Northern Rohan, top application, Shatu grilled, Kondriv, Kornos, Kotaroti, Koj, Hermitage, St. Joseph, St. Pere, Northern Rohan, Piraj grapes predominant, some Wagner, Marsanne and Rosen for white hermitage. Okay. Satyanudipa, a favorite that fell from grace in 1980s. This is a very, very important wine. It comes from this region. Primary Grenache, but blended with up to 13 other wine. 320 dominant provide this wine today, right? Red wine and white wines originally aged in casks at sea, now aged in seaside country yard barrel left loosely corks with aging. Vermouth, the herb made the house another botanical blended with wines and impacts flavor. Champagne, we cover champagne in separate presentation along with the sparkling wine, right? Okay, let's discuss about the champagne. Okay, here you can see the wine producing France, wine producing region of France. One is important region is Bordeaux. So Bordeaux is probably the most prestigious wine regions. It is the most prestigious wine regions. It produces 5% of French all wine, about 25% of AC. Good quality wine produced, not the quality. Climate, mild winter, warm summer, ideal. And soil would be the probably stony and not fertile but rich in minerals, ideal. In this slide, you must get the things, right? So just go through. Grape most used, like green grapes, Sauvignon Blanc, Muscatel, Semillon, and the black grapes, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Malbec, Petit Verdot, Merlot. These are the important grapes for grow in Bordeaux regions. Okay, red wines, delicate, light bodies, and dry, very good accompaniments with the food. Bordeaux wine are referred to Clair French, claret, clear colored. White wines more sweet than dry, often golden color. White wines ज़्यादा sweet होती हैं and then dry after golden color. A few rose wines also are produced. More than 35 districts, but the following five are most notable. So in the Bordeaux district they have 35 districts, but the five are very very important, like the Medoc, Pomerol, Saint-Emilion. Saint-Emilion is mainly famous for the red grapes, both red and white. Sauters, mainly golden, sweet and whites. Right. Further cruise classes classified growing grading. And next is Medoc, Premier Cru, Chateau Lafayette, Rothschild Pole, Chateau Latour Polec, Chateau Morgus, Chateau Monte, Rothschild, right? Then the Pomerol district is Saint-Emilion. Saint-Emilion is Grand Cru, Blair, Chateau Canon, Grand Cru, Chateau d'Orsay, the Yumple, right? Other Cru classic wines are Bally Red, Chateau Pape Climate Red, Chateau